Okay. Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you for your time and interest coming here. Second, I want to thank the organizer for letting me to present this. Mostly, I've been in some events recently that they have focused on LLMs and AI and most generating things. For some reason, the focus on security thing is a little bit less. So I have something to just present today. The focus is almost on security plus the Docker. So let's go. Okay, so first of all, there are some examples in these slides. So yeah, please be responsible about that one. Please don't try any of those codes or whatever that you take screenshots or like photos on productions. Please, at the end of the day, blame Shanky for that one. Okay, so who am I? My name is Dolan. I'm a software developer. I'm interested in cybersecurity, but I'm just learning. So be patient with me if I did something. Yeah. Okay. So my focus is on a recent hack recently happened for those two technologies that almost we can say that mostly used on the internet, React and Next.js, which both from Node.js family. They name it React to Shell. So exactly this is what I did to show you how React ended to the shell. So I'm trying to demo that one at the end of the day. So what is it? There is some most of those command or like technologies that at the end of the day leading to a shell coming because of not properly serialization. And this is coming from a user input. This is again exactly the same thing happening. First of all, it happened to React. After a while, it happened to the Next.js because it is using React behind the scene. So I'm not going to be like very like formal. That's why I'm trying to pass those slides. This is the same thing that I just tried to talk about. Just like the whole thing about that the React to Shell is not properly serialization. This is just an input that caused a shell at the end of the day. If I want to give you an example about how does this work, it is exactly like as a browser, we have, imagine it like a restaurant, and we have a kitchen, and we have a waiter or waitress, which is the browser would be that waiter. So they are coming to you, they are taking the order. That order would be the data. So you pass that order, and he will bring that order right to the chef. And chef, this is the order. At the end of the order, like the customer asked for the key to open the door and pass me the key. And without any serialization, he says that here you are, and then the result goes back to the customer. It's exactly what's happening here. This is the process. I just grabbed it from Microsoft Defender Security Research Team. There was a blog about that one. So this is exactly what is happening. My focus here was mostly on Docker. It is exactly the same when you're running Next.js locally on those predefined host path or inside Docker mostly, and it goes to the Kubernetes as well. So this is my project, which is I'm going to show you just in a bit, like as a demo. So The VM server is just like a server that I created on my computer, just like a virtual machine. I have three main set of projects. So I have 5 projects, all of them the same project. Like in all of them I used Next.js. So the one it comes to Docker, I have a vulnerable version, I have a protected version. Host, the reason that I put it host var because mostly we just create our host and we put our project on that folder. And then we have local. The local is the same desktop. I purposefully named local. And we have one protected, one vulnerable. They are all exactly the same project. The vulnerables are different versions of Next.js. The green one protected, it means that I harden them after. This is, I use PM2 for running them behind the scenes. This is the 5 projects that I just talked about.
Sorry, what virtualization platform you using? What are you running?
PM2.
Oh, PM2.
Yeah. This is Wazoo. Wazoo is a SIEM tool. Why I brought this one here? So mostly we think that our projects are so secure, we rely on security tools, rely on something like Wazoo, but that React to Shell affected more than 30 million websites in the world, okay? SIEM tool like Wazoo cannot find it. So it's kind of tricky, it's kind of so serious. So I had some project, I did some research on that one. Why is it? So here in that one, this is a blog that I was mentioning that thing, so I can find some workaround why Wazoo cannot find it, because it's a SIEM tool and I use it for my projects. I went through the details, like researching how to do that, So one of the best things that Wazoo, even I talked to some people from Wazoo, the only thing that they were just giving me as workaround was like, you can use just those systems that they have behind the scenes with a file change, which is not what I want. I want to make sure that that exact version of Next.js or React.js that I'm using, is it vulnerable or not? So after some time I couldn't find any way, I had to create something for myself. So again, I tried to share what I did and why Wazoo missed this vulnerability and how I can find a way to find it using Wazoo. So it helps me to be more organized. At least if I use the same process, the same SIEM tool, it helps me, but it doesn't mean that we don't have the same issues with other technologies. It's exactly the same problem would be existed with Python. So normally you are using Python, it doesn't let you to install it, like it does, but it doesn't let you to install any packages globally. I mean, right away in your terminal. You have to have a virtual environment. Again, Wazoo cannot recognize any vulnerable packaging in Wazoo when you have virtual environment. So in that case, you have to use this workaround that I did for your Python project. So let's go back here. Okay. So this one, I will show you live. This is just a screenshot. So this is Wazoo, how I find, if you notice here, this is the IP, this is my server, this is the one that I created. And here, I purposefully put this Docker so it just recognizes it. So it goes all the way to the root FS of that server, which is using this path, and then it goes to the package.json file and reading that version exactly. This is again just for proof of concept. I will show you the live ones. So here, if this is again just for showing, like showcasing that this is the path. This is I used. So I use this script for running with PM2 because it's a Docker one. Yeah. So this is the whole version details about that. So here, if you notice, again, this is the Docker one, and I grabbed next just to showcasing this is a vulnerable version. So how you get this version exactly from Wazoo, because usually it gives you this option if this package.json changed. So in any change, the hash will change. Wazoo can get you a notification that something changed in that file. What is it? You don't know. You have to focus on exact version, so there should be another way or workaround to find out. So this is this guy, I don't know what his name, published an exploit for this vulnerability. So I just grab it and somehow organize it for this event. This is one of the local domains that I just created. This is the CV number, and I executed one ID command without any user interaction, and this is the result. So I'm going to show you, but a more dangerous one. This is just another proof of concept, which you can have Nuclei, which is another tool from Project Discovery for figuring out if there is any issues with the website. So okay, I'm gonna show you. If you cannot hear me, just be patient with me. Okay, so this is the server that I showed you. This is inside the virtual machine. I'm just going to show you the Dockers that right now I have. So this is the Dockers that I have. One is vulnerable, one is protected, and you see that they are running right now. Okay. This is the list of let me just grab it. This is from PM2. So this is the project that I have. I have 5 projects. So if I go to any of those projects, that's, you will see like unsafe because it's vulnerable. And if I go to the host, it's gonna change to host. It's exactly the same thing, different versions. If you notice here, it's like 15.3.0, the other one is 0.5.6. So those are vulnerable version. The way that I want to show you what exactly we can do, what is the dangerous point about that one is this point. So I'm going to listen to a port here, okay? And you see, this is the unsafe.docker, okay? And here I use this exploit with unsafe.docker, and this is a command that gives me a shell from that Docker with just one enter. That's it. Now I'm inside. ID. It gives me the ID of the Docker. And if you run this Docker with privileges of root access, most probably you can get access to the host. And you know, root access means everything. So like while you are doing, while you are building those projects, there's some kind of mitigations. You can use some flags like read only, or you can put some users, at least when they get access to the Docker, they don't get access to root access. At the same time, if you're generating your projects with any AI, be more specific. If you ask an AI that just generate a Next.js project for me, most probably it goes randomly, bring a code from this version, and it is vulnerable and you don't check anything. And that would be so dangerous, and easily you can get access, any access. And you see it's like PS, aux, this is the process. Yes, if someone getting into the Docker, yes, they can see that I am connected through this IP. So they can find you. It doesn't mean that they cannot. There are so many ways to find out about that one. But the point is, first of all, when you generate projects, watch out, be more specific. Second, don't rely on those SIEM tools. Just because we are using a Docker, it doesn't mean that we are secured, we are protected. This is the main point about the whole project. So I think totally I am done if there is any question. And while we have these questions, this is the QR4 presentation slide. One point about this presentation slide, if you scan this QR, this is coming from QR Vault. And one point about the difference of these QRs with other QRs is it has a security behind this QR. It means that if you scan it, it goes to a page, it asks you for a password. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the password. Purposefully we did that simple password. You can just log in, like get the presentation slides. But if you have any questions, Marco is here about the QR Vault. It's really amazing project. That's why I really want to thank you for just giving me the opportunity to use those QRs, just like for showcasing beside those security sites that we wanted to also. This is something like that. Thank you for Cloud Native. Thank you for Ubuntu, Wazoo, everyone here. And if you have any questions, I'm here. Can I ask for my bottle?
So I would like to confirm. Basically, the vulnerability itself is coming from the Next.js framework. It is not the Docker. But the Docker, the problem of the Docker is actually hiding the vulnerability. Is that correct?
That's not about Docker. My focus was on Docker because of the environment, first of all. Thank you so much. Because of the environment, first of all. Second, I have, let me just show you. So by the way, it doesn't work. I wanted to go to let me probably, yeah, okay. So if you go normally to and this is the project, it's not inside Docker, it is vulnerable. It's exactly the same thing. It has the same issue. So it's about Next.js, it's not about Docker itself. But just because I have this project inside Docker and it is containerized, it doesn't mean that it keeps me protected. That's the point. So you can be vulnerable outside with the same thing and inside Docker. Just because you are having a containerized project, it doesn't mean that, okay, I'm safe now. And you see that like with one just click or enter, you can get the shell.
So basically, it is like we need to focus on Next.js, or like in the Docker setup, we prevent the permissions when they connect to the host, or like the volumes of the Docker.
It depends on your project. If you are creating an image from whatever that you are using inside Docker, I would suggest use Docker Scout. Use what is Dive, which just gives you the different layers of the Docker. You can use 3V, I think, something like that. So they are really useful for giving you some hints because they can help you with finding those issues.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
Question?
So in the beginning, you mentioned like lack of input validation as why the vulnerability exists. So I'm wondering, like, because you also mentioned, for example, with Docker containers, you can scan them for vulnerabilities, but that's only if the vulnerabilities are I guess discovered, right? Whereas when this gets exploited, it's during a time when it's not discovered yet
Yes.
because of the whole input validation thing. So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, if this is something that's fairly known that you need to validate your inputs, does that mean that it's difficult because there's many types of inputs you have to validate, or are people just not validating their inputs?
But usually when you are coding, you have to take these two in consideration. Whenever you have one input, you have to have this possibility anytime with any kind of ways that it can be. Um, uh, I would say that find a vulnerability through that, like leak or use that input for running a command. So usually, like normally we are just like coding when it works, we are just passing by. We don't check about like serialization, we don't check about sanitization, about exact inputs that we will face while coding. So if you mean that just because I'm not like the one that found these React to shell, right? We cannot find that one. But what if I was relying on sim tool? I have my project inside Docker. I was thinking that I'm secure. Then I was like thinking that, okay, I have a sim tool which is really good, perfect, updated every day, like tons of those CVs will be added. Okay, there was just a news. I was going through the news. I was checking that, okay, there's some vulnerability for Next.js. Let me check mine. I checked. I see that, yeah, it is vulnerable. But no, that like the Docker cannot just like save me. It's not protected. SIEM tool cannot find it. So I coded something here. Uh, it's here, scan react shell. Just that code is mine. Okay, here I put it here just because I wanted to show it inside the wazoo. So here, this is the wazoo. It's another oops, it's another virtual machine. Just put it for that server. So by default, this one is going to that host, that var dot dot dot. Your project is not sanitized, okay? You put it there or inside Docker, just because it's not protected or it is protected inside the Docker, it doesn't mean that this one can find it. Second, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be attacked. So first of all, it's on developer shoulders to find out if they are using any input. They have to focus on that one to make sure it is sanitized, whatever it is, like in any way that they just like use it. I hope I get exactly what you wanted. Any more questions? Okay, thank you.